So let me start with introducing who Jason Lim is. Jason and I have known each other for at least 2 to 3 decades.
Yeah.
I knew Jason when he was a teenager. I would sneak into Jason's house for lunch. You know what I miss most, Jason? Is the big prawn with garlic on top, the huge one, which your mom would bake.
Yeah, she
Do
does.
you
She
remember that?
cooks very well. My mom cooks very well.
Mister. Yeah, so I was sneaking. So you used to live near Jinchu. And when Mandy's sleeping, I'll put banana on her hand. So that's how close Jason and I are. So for those of you, if you catch us having some kind of insider kind of jokes, please stop us
Jokes.
and ask questions. All right.
Yeah.
So this would not be a very polite session. One must be warned. So so enough said about your childhood. How I like to introduce you is, you know, first and foremost, those who have come here would have read that you are an accounts director from St. Regis Hotel. And St. Regis Hotel is, you know, one of, if not the most luxurious hotel in the world, in Japan as well. Yeah.
Yes.
So you're working the first St. Regis in Japan, right?
The one and only, actually.
The one and only.
Yeah.
Right. So if we are talking about the best, and so if we're talking about fast car, you can talk about Mercedes-Benz is fast, but then, you know, Mercedes-Benz equals to Hilton, and then St. Regis equals to Lamborghini or Ferrari.
Um,
I know.
our
Just
we
not.
actually we how do we say, our partner car company is actually the Bentley.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
So that,
in Singapore, actually, we don't have this service yet in Japan, but in Singapore, when you stay with the St. Regis Singapore, you can actually have a Bentley Continental that comes to pick you up from the airport and send you to the hotel.
that's nice.
It's all a part of the package.
Wow. So in Brunei, if you mention Jason's name, you get a Bentley.
Okay, I've left Brunei for like the past 18 years, so there's nothing much I can say.
It's been 18 years, Jason.
It's been 18 years. It's been 18 years.
God.
This is my 18th year in. So half
Japan or
Japan. I left when I was 9. I left when I was 18, 19, I think. 18. Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. Okay, let me go through your very quickly in my bullet point form who you are, right?
All
So,
right.
prior to St. Regis Hotel, you were with the Hilton.
Yes.
You started at the bottom from being a sales executive to being a management trainee, and then to being a restaurant manager, and then to being a sales manager.
That's right.
That's interesting. We will go deep into that later on.
Sure.
And then before that, how you got a job from Hilton was you used to work part-time at Outback Steakhouse.
That's right.
So through that, you got discovered.
I actually chat to all my guests who comes and eat in the restaurant in general. So I speak to all of them, and then I just started speaking to an Australian guy. So he was actually the second in charge in the Hilton Osaka, and then he was just playing with his kid around one of the pillars that had a crocodile. So I was like, I've seen you here somewhere, blah, blah, blah. We had a chat. Then I was like, where are you working for? He said, Hilton. I said, great. Are you looking for people? He said, yes, we're always looking for good people. And I just said, I speak a few languages, take me. And he just gave me his card. So that's how the whole story started. And that's how I got into hotels.
No chance. Or
Yeah.
do you apply for a job, everyone you meet when you were in Outback?
No, it was very, very just out of the blue. Just suddenly out of the blue, and then it took me actually 3 weeks to actually contact him after he gave me his name card.
Why? Why so
Because
long?
I never thought of joining the hotels, and I didn't
Uh,
even know what. I mean, we go to hotels for a drink or for eating, but you never thought about working in a hotel because
yep.
the thought never crosses the mind. I mean, it wasn't an option in Brunei, I think.
This is interesting. I was just telling you prior to this, I was replaying our interview the last time.
Yeah, yeah, we did one anyway. At
I was,
your place,
in my previous interview, I told you how obvious it is to me that you belong to the hospitality or people industry. So yeah, the reason why I bring this up is it's quite interesting because what appears to be so clear to everyone else, but when you are a teenager, you don't get it.
That's true. That's true.
If you were to ask all your teachers and everyone who knows you, Jason, uh, I bet no one would be surprised at the decision of you being in, ending up in the hotel industry. And people would just say, hey, it all makes complete sense.
I think
Yeah,
every
that's
time,
all the best ideas,
maybe,
before it
I
happened.
think, I think when my teachers, if you were to ask my teachers, and what actually has happened is that from primary 1 to primary 6, every report card would have he's a talkative boy, and that has not changed for 6 years at the St. George's. That did not change at all. So even when I went into marketing science, it was the same story. So I just love talking, and then, but now I think as I grow older, we tend to think a bit more before we start talking. So that's one of the things that I learned a lot from working in hotels.
But I guess it is also your personality in which you're not afraid to talk to strangers that landed you where you are today, all the
That's
way back.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
I'm still halfway talking about your resume.
Okay,
So,
go for it.
um, so in 2003, Jason got a scholarship to study in Japan. And when you went to Japan, you actually studied technology, something to do with mobile phone.
I studied IT systems engineering.
All right, right. Has it got anything to do with mobile phone? Because that's what I recall.
No, it was telecommunications actually. You were right, but actually it became.
What's the difference?
Yeah, I don't know. They actually when I went into the school and they just said, you're doing systems engineering. Yeah, maybe when they translated it to from Japanese to English, it became telecommunications.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you are a system engineer
Yes.
who bartend in a restaurant
Yes.
and wait on people. That's not very dignifying.
You do everything you need, the experience.
Well, were you, like most Bruneian, ever felt embarrassed?
No, the funny thing was,
Because no one knows you.
everybody who knows me would answer that question for me, I think.
What was the funny thing, please?
You were saying again?
No, I was saying that you were not embarrassed. You're not feeling embarrassed because no one knows you in Japan. So you can do anything.
That is
Would you
funny.
have here in Brunei?
I would have done the same, I'm sure. I would have done the same.
You see, I may sound like I'm joking, but these are important points for especially job seekers to take note of, because you're never too good to earn an honest wages. And that is why, Jason, since young, I have such huge admiration for you. Much more than Johnson, much more than Mandy.
No, it's because our age were closer and you could talk to me more than them. Come on.
Yeah, so they can,
you just told everybody, my whole family.
okay, I finished. Is there anything you want to add on the background of who Jason is? So Jason has 3 daughters and is married to a Japanese wife.